A desire is never fulfilled singularly. See, friends, take an example. A simple desire. I think we should have a cup of tea. Does it stop here? Where can we go? Is there nearby any shop? Third, will it be open? So the mind is now running after tea. And here satsang is going on. And the mind is going and here and there. See? Therefore, any desire you take, the simplest one, will breed next generation of thoughts. And more the thoughts per second in our mind, more disturbed we are. Lesser the thoughts per second in our mind, less disturbed we are. There are no thoughts in the mind, absolutely we are not disturbed. See, friends, just observe this phenomena. Now, if the desire is the problem, then let us find out how the desire is born. See? Desire is born when we have a sense of incompleteness. We are all born bachelors, is it not? Anybody born with the wife? Nobody. We are all born bachelors. Now, naturally, we are bachelors. Naturally. Unnaturally, we are married. Think. Now, what was the need? Young man, well studied and healthy, living happily and cheerfully, one day a virus enters in his head. What a life without a wife. And one desire, he starts matrimonial.com, shadi.com, bharat.com, no. And finally get married. After marriage, they come to us, Swamiji. Yes, what a life because of the wife. Earlier it was, what a life without a wife. After a few months, what a life because of the wife. These are all the tricks of the mind, friends. Please understand, no desire can be born unless we have accepted ourselves to be incomplete. Mathematically, nothing can be added to the infinite and nothing can be taken away from the infinite because we consider ourselves to be finite. How do we consider ourselves to be finite? I consider myself to be, I am 75 years old, conditioned by time. I am 6 by 4, 6 feet tall, 4 foot wide. So, conditioned by space. And I am 1 ton in weight, conditioned by object. So when I consider myself to be limited by time, space and object, that limited notion creates an uncomfortable feeling, that uncomfortable feeling of incompleteness when it reacts, that is called as a desire. Therefore, desire is a reaction of the mind. See? If somebody has got very healthy biceps and the other fellow has some disease because of which he has become like a hippo. See, will he be called as healthy? No. In the same manner, mind which has become fat because of desires is an unhealthy mind. And that unhealthy expression of the mind is desires one after another. Now if you look back in your own life, what we have done till date? Only fulfilled our desires. Right from childhood onwards. Mommy, I want this. Mommy, I want that. You must have seen, the kids, the electronic games. They are mad. So we go to the shop and buy one for them. The mommy and dad, they are sitting in the front and the child is sitting behind and playing. By the time he comes, he has already played, he gets bored and throws it away. And again, new game is wanted. What the children do, the same thing we do. See? For no reason. I think we should change the color of this, house. It is not good. Perfectly all right. No, it's the same thing, for so many days. So you change the color. Only color will not, we have to change, the drapery also. It is not matching. Then I think we should change the house. This is not a good. See, the mind will not allow us to be at peace. Because otherwise the mind cannot survive. See, these are all the tricks of the mind. And therefore, right from childhood till date, what we have done is only fulfilled our desires without realizing that fulfilling desires never leads to fulfillment in life. See, friends, there is one lady in India, elderly, she must be about now 89 or 90. When she was somewhere like 75, 78, extremely, exceptionally bright and wonderful lady. When she was pretty young, her two children, the elder daughter was hardly in class 10 and the younger was class 9 or 8, and that time her husband died. And he had an institution, engineering institution. And this girl, those days, now 90 means she's, in early 30s or 20s, 1920s. Those days she was not much educated, not even a high school. After that, she studied, completed her high school and then completed engineering and post-graduation and wrote book in engineering subjects, and they were adopted as the textbook in the whole India. Such a genius lady, brought up the children and very well read in the scriptures. She used to give lectures and all that. Suddenly something happened to her and she went into depression, disoriented. So her daughter came and told me, Swamiji, something has happened to mom, we don't know. Suddenly what happened? What should we do? I said, first of all, don't take her to any psychiatrist. You know what is psychiatrist? There are three people: psychiatrist, psychologist and psychotherapist. Psychologist builds castles in the air. Psychotherapist goes and stays there. And psychiatrist takes the rent. So kindly don't take her to any psychiatrist. Then what should I do? I said, you call me for dinner. So I went. After we finished food and all that, I was talking to that old lady. I said, Mama, you have done so many things. Now you simply answer my simple question. The question is, have you discovered fulfillment in your life? No, Swamiji, and she started crying. Then she said, this is exactly what has happened. I have done so much, but I don't have fulfillment in life. I said, look here, now don't go into dissection, do what I tell. She did it, now she's again out of it. And so cheerful and happy. So this equation is wrong. That fulfilling the desires will lead to fulfillment in life. It has never happened, it will never happen. See, friends, and the desires are of three types. First, the desire which are of the lowest category, they are regarding the worldly things. I want a big house, I want a car, I want to go here and there and all this kind of thing. Desires about the worldly inert matter. The second kind of desires are, I want to achieve something in life. See? And the third kind of and most dangerous desires are the desire to do good to the world. Spare the world from your goodness.